What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subscribed if you are. If you are not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, while you're at it, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this conversation. I'm not going to be before you very long with this. I just recently did a conversation where I talked about Shirley Strawberry, who is Steve Harvey's co-host, sidekick on the Steve Harvey morning radio show. She has been for several decades at this point in time. And she is requesting, allegedly, for her husband, who has been incarcerated, to be released when he has been ordered to stay away from children and animals. I still don't know what that staying away from animals thing is about. Some people are speculating some things. I think it probably has something to do with fighting animals. If you get my drift. I don't think it has anything to do with him doing anything with animals to get his rocks off, if you get my drift. So I don't think it has anything to do with bestiality. I think it probably has something to do with fighting dogs, because the man was a hustler, and I could see it being sort of like a Michael Vick sort of situation when it comes to that order. But he is supposedly, or was supposedly, an entrepreneur. And this is what I just want to talk about. I'm going to try to be as brief as possible with this. Based on the information that I've learned about him and some of the charges, because some of the charges have to do with him being a grifter in terms of running these credit repair companies. There's so many of these fraudulent credit repair companies out here. Just tired of seeing people who are African American who are ripping people off. It wasn't just that. It was also having people invest in them, saying that he could help them to get their businesses going, get their businesses exposure, all of these different things for a price, for a fee, of course. And yeah, there's a cost of business, but when it comes to African American people who are out here doing stuff like this and taking advantage of people and people believing in them and thinking that these people are going to help them to get to the next step, it's just a grift. And they're taking a lot of money from these people. It's not even a little bit of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that they're taking from these people, and it's manipulative. So they may not literally be stealing the money, but you're saying that you're going to be able to offer services that you don't have the ability to do. And so in essence, you are being fraudulent. And so they got him on some of those charges as well. But for Shirley Strawberry, who is known for the Strawberry Letter, where people allegedly are writing into her, asking her for advice and tips, I never really believed that stuff. Some of the things used to just be so outrageous. It was either that they were making the letters up, or people were being funny and writing these letters to make it, just to be comical and to be funny, almost like prank calls, Some of the most outrageous things these people would write in about. So I never really believed that stuff. But the fact that this woman wrote a letter to the judge requesting that he be released, saying that she's not afraid to be around her husband, because one of the orders was that he could not be around her and he couldn't be around his girlfriend. So the man is not only married to her, he has a girlfriend, and you are writing a letter to the judge asking for him to be released, and that you're not afraid to be around him and you want him to be with you. And allegedly, and this is what I spoke about before in my conversation, allegedly, one of Steve Harvey's homes in Abu Dhabi, you were willing to have your husband leave the country and move to and never come back. I guess it'd be like a Russell Simmons thing where he leaves the country and he never gets back. Russell Simmons, though, he left without getting incarcerated. So he left before that was a possibility. Your husband's already been incarcerated, and you're hoping that he gets released and you can get him out of the country so that you can go over there and see him from time to time, because he'd just stay there and he, I'm sure, would never come back. I'm saying I don't know what the extradition is when it comes to Abu Dhabi and the United States. I'm assuming there probably is none, because I'm sure that they researched that to know it. I'm quite sure they didn't just come out and say that as a thought. It was something that was researched. I don't believe that if that were the case, Steve Harvey would not have known about it. I mean, Steve Harvey walked her down the aisle when she got married. But the thing about it is, when it comes to this woman, I believe they said she's 68 years old. That's not, I don't want to say that's old, but she's definitely up there. She got married in 2015. Steve Harvey, I believe he walked her down the aisle. If he didn't walk her down the aisle, he definitely took a picture with her, looking as if he did. It's a very strange situation, but it said that she was married before. Not many people know much about her previous marriage, but they're saying that she was really lonely and she was praying for a mate. She wanted to have a spouse. When people like her who have become a public personality, and you are needy in that way and showcasing it, you are going to attract people like this. Even if it lasts for several years, this is the type of person that you are more likely not going to attract, because takers, they tend to be drawn to givers. They tend to be drawn to needy people who are willing to do any and everything to be just accompanied, or to have a spouse, or to have a significant other, even if you never get married. And so the fact that he took it all the way there to propose to her on the radio show, if you heard the clip, I'm actually going to play this clip.
Just be quiet for a second. Let me ask you a question. The woman that you about to ask me this question about, do you love her?
Yes, sir.
Could you, when you think about it, you can't live without her?
No, sir.
Is she the woman of your dreams?
Yes, sir.
Do you think about her oftentimes before you think about yourself?
Yes, sir.
Would you die for her?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Wow. Would you take care of her before you took care of yourself?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this here. Would you love everything about her and everybody connected to her as if it was your own?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. Shirley.
Yes.
This your man right here. What?
It's Ernesto.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh.
This Shirley, happy birthday, is Ernesto. And this is your birthday, Shirley. And Ernesto is here. For those of you that's listening, a man is walking in the room right now.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to pause it right there. It was a call-in. She's on a radio show. You hear Steve Harvey, anyway. She couldn't even tell her man's voice. She was oblivious to that, not unless she was just acting really well. She wasn't even aware that was who it was that was on this call-in. So he comes into the radio studio. He's got the phone up to his ear. He proposes. Anyway, the fact that these things have come to light, and not so much that these things have come to light and she is someone that people allegedly are writing in letters to, asking her for life's advice and things like that. It's the fact that she wrote a letter to the judge asking for him to be released and allowing him to be around her, when it's been exposed that he cannot be around children. He cannot be around animals. All of the charges that are up against him, as well as the fact that he has a girlfriend. Are you kidding me? Are you that desperate to have a man in your life that you are willing to sacrifice your integrity and your character and your self-worth and your reputation professionally to be with this dude? That's why some people are questioning, did you know about the things that were going on? Because it's not that people really want to fault one person for another person's actions, but it's what you do after the fact that calls into question, did you not know or did you really know? And honestly, it's similar. I don't want to say it's similar, but when Phaedra's, at the time, husband Apollo was arrested for all of the charges that he had, her response to things, trying to separate herself, actually, it didn't help her in terms of public opinion about her not knowing about it. A lot of people felt like she did know about it, but she was separating herself just because of the optics and not wanting people to think that she was associated with the things that were going on, because most people believed that Apollo wasn't as bright to come up with the schemes that he was doing without her being involved. And how could she not know about it based on the way that they were living and what he was doing in terms of supporting financially the household and doing the things that he was doing? You don't know where he goes to work every day. So her trying to separate herself, it didn't really help people to think that she wasn't involved or she didn't know anything about it. She was just doing that. But for Shirley Strawberry to not come out and just even in the public eye, make a statement separating herself from him, but maybe on the down low, you're still involved with him or still want to be involved with him, visiting the prison, or not the prison, the jail, and doing that, speaking to him on the phone, writing the strawberry letters and things like that on the DL, but in the public, separating yourself from him, people probably wouldn't even still be talking about it. But it's the fact that she wrote this letter asking the judge to allow her to be around her husband, and she's not afraid to be around him based on the charges that he has. It's absolutely crazy, and it just makes her look like one of these lonely, desperate women who get in this public and they get access to so many millions of people where it will attract grifters like this guy allegedly is, and see an opportunity to get with a woman who is desperate for love and affection. You know, think about Teresa Judas from Real Housewives of New Jersey. She's with a freaking lunatic right now that I believe that sooner or later that marriage is going to crumble and more things are going to come out and be exposed about him. A lot of things have already been exposed about him, but I'm just saying legally she may wind up in prison again dealing with this crazy lunatic lobster of a man. And Vicki Gunvalson from Real Housewives of Orange County, she's been with a few after she decided to divorce her husband. I felt like that was a mistake, but she moved on. And then she got with this man, Brooks, who was a user, and he saw that she was a needy woman who was looking for love, and he love bombed her, said everything that she wanted to hear and all of that different stuff like that. But she was more financially stable than he was. And then you've got Shirley Strawberry. I feel like this guy just saw an opportunity. I'm not saying that he wasn't attracted to her. I'm not saying that she was just some loser chick that was not capable of getting with anyone of substance who looked good, who was financially well off and all of that other stuff. But my mom has an old saying, the counterfeit usually appears before the real. So I believe that she fell for the counterfeit because it was probably the first thing that came to her that she showed an interest in, because the devil, he comes as an angel of light. That's how the Bible describes the devil. I know movies and TV shows and things like that, they show Satan as like this red being with horns or even just some dark evil being. But Satan comes to you as something that looks good, that is appealing, that is attractive, that has money, that, status. And the money may not be legally received, but I'm saying the counterfeit usually shows up for the real. And I believe that she fell for the counterfeit when it showed up. She's been with it all of these years and she is used to it and feels like there's nothing else. I'm 68. What else am I going to do? Who else am I going to be with? I want love. I want affection. I want a relationship. I'm just saying, it looks horrible. It really, really does look horrible. So to find out that she wrote this letter wanting her man so that she can have her man at home with her, so Shirley can have a man at home, like Shantae said, child, later for that. It's crazy. So I just wanted to talk about that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you so much for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.